What is up, everybody? Whoa, I'm really close to the thing. What is up, everybody? As I'm readjusting the live screen, that was really up close. Did not like that. What is up, everybody? Yours truly, Aaron Mike here. You are listening to the unscripted, unfiltered, 100% authentic. I have a fun show for you all tonight. It's getting close to the weekend. If for some, maybe the weekend's already kicked off for you. Congrats on that. But good buddy of mine who has been on the show before, if you can go back to the fan control football, believe, and he might quote me on better on this, might have been season two. I can't remember if it was exactly when my grandmother passed or right afterwards. I do not remember that, but he is the coolest dude of all upon coolest dudes. Let me introduce to you Big Dog, Mr. Keith Wainwright. What's up, my dude?
What's going on, man? I love the intro.
Hey, I appreciate it. You know, it's a work in progress, but it's getting there. It is getting there.
Yeah, that was smooth, man. That was smooth.
No, I appreciate that, dude. What's been going on with you? I know it's been a while. I know. I think it was season 2.0. Truthfully, not to bring up, but I don't know if it was right before my grandmother passed or afterwards when you were on. But nonetheless, dude, I'm excited that you're back on.
Yeah, it was. I think it was after. No. It was before.
Was it?
It was before. It was before your grandma passed because you reached me back on Twitter and told me, the back. I think it was probably a month after we did the interview, and I just told you to stay in touch and that kind of thing. So, but I'm glad you're in good spirits. I've been praying for you for a while. Always in my prayers, man, because I take family serious. So, again, I'm sorry to hear that happened, but it seems like you're in better spirits and still doing what you love to do. So, God is still good.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, my grandma said that, and I was at peace with it. She said she was ready to go home, and God's going to take care of her. So I left it in that, and firmly believe that's where she's at, right above. So definitely miss her, but the way she left was peaceful, and the illness she had was deadly, and I do not wish that on anybody. But anyway, dude, it's been great. I've been keeping tabs up with you. You've been working out, doing some workout videos and what have you. What's life been like since FCF? I know FCF kind of took a break. They should be back up and running. I believe this summer is what I keep hearing. But what you been up to since the season 2.0?
Man, that's an excellent question, man. I find myself more or less being a father and a husband more than focusing on football. But once having passion for the sport, it doesn't go away at all. So
absolutely,
I got a great support system. My wife, my trainer, everybody around me always says stay active, stay ready. You never know, that kind of thing. And you see stories all the time with guys where like Kurt Warner or whatever the case may be, they sitting back and just, thinking that it's all over and said and done. And the next thing you know, you get a phone call. So I don't want to be put in a position where I do get a phone call and, I haven't done anything. So that's why you see all those workout videos and staying positive. And, but I'm in a better space. I'll say that. And the reason why I say that I'm in a better space mentally is because I've grown a lot since the last time I spoke to you. I think that coaching has been a major part of my transitional phase. I wouldn't say out of football yet. I still have that fire, that burning desire, and I still have a lot of opportunities lined up for me. Just waiting on a couple of phone calls. But coaching is kind of like that in between phase. Everybody has an in between phase where they have to go through, and I think that's important for just life in general. You always have to have that in between phase so you can keep your sanity. So yeah. So I've been doing a lot. I mean, I don't know if you keep up with the weather here in Huntsville, Alabama. It's been crazy. It's like it feels like I'm in Colorado right now. Honestly, like,
I'm.
dude, it's crazy.
I will say this. No, I feel you. I don't know what it is right now. I know we were above 40 something here today in Oklahoma City, but
Yeah,
tomorrow's going to be right back to where we were last week, and how we started off this week was in the 20s, feeling like in the negatives with the wind chill. But I think literally, I do believe the whole country besides Florida, I think is getting some
I
type of.
think Florida got a little bit of flourish. Yeah,
I
dude. Like we don't have any. We don't have any trucks. No, like snow trucks or no salt trucks or
wow.
anything to plow the snow. So all the back roads, if it's not the major highways for law enforcement and government, man, it's a mess. And ice is becoming, it's not snow anymore. It's
Wow.
becoming ice. So
Right.
people can't leave the driveways, man. We've been. I wouldn't say I was about to say quarantine like COVID, but we've been stuck in the house for a whole week. A whole week,
That's borderline. That's what it was back in 2020.
man. So imagine being stuck in the house all week with kids.
No, I'm good.
And exactly,
I'm
exactly.
good.
That's bottom line right there. So I mean, the game only does so much. They got to entertain themselves. But no, man, it's a blessing because I told my wife yesterday it's an opportunity to spend time together.
Mhm.
You know, because we're always moving, doing things, moving around. And my mom came in town for a week or two, and
Very
she's
nice.
stuck. She stays in Texas. She's stuck now because of the weather. So shout out to my mama. She's in good hands now. She's flying out tomorrow.
Very
Um,
nice.
yeah, man, it's been a journey since we last talked. It's been a journey.
I want to ask this because just curiosity always kills a cat sometimes. But if FCF calls, you answering?
uh,
Not to put them on the spot either. Just
to
just
be
the
honest with
curious.
to be honest with you, and I don't want to sound desperate, but if that is my best last opportunity,
Right.
I would, hands down, because I never had a problem with the FCF, and never I felt like the FCF was a great
Hmm.
opportunity for guys for more film. I think it's still another level could compete. I think the FCF could compete with anybody.
Oh,
Honestly,
absolutely.
when I say anybody, I'm talking about within the arena status.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm a big fan of being getting my feet wet in different areas. So I wouldn't mind only because of the relationships I've gained since I've been
Hmm.
there. Um, but it will have to be one of those things where, all right, this is my last time playing football. I think I'm hang up the cleats after this. So, um, but no, man, I'm optimistic. I got other opportunities possibly on the rise. Just waiting on my agent to make some calls and wait for the guys to call me back. So,
That's what's up.
so I used to think age was a factor. It really isn't. It's just about a guy giving me an opportunity, you know,
Hmm.
because you got guys in the NFL 35, 36,
Oh
whatever years old.
yes.
Yeah, yeah. So, um, but like I told my wife today, I think if I was to get an opportunity wherever, I think I'm kind of on the back end, and not physically because I could run with anybody. I
Oh,
think
I saw that on the field a
yeah,
year and a half ago. You can still play, dude.
yeah. I think for me it's more like the exhaustion, like the
Hmm.
mental exhaustion, going through the same phase, working out, getting up early, and that takes a toll on the body. I think that's why a lot of guys retire, not more or less the physical sense, because we've been doing it for so long, you get used to it. So yeah.
Speaking of well, two things, but first I want to get your thoughts on as we kick off the show. Of course, Huntsville, Alabama. We all know what happened. Well, little after the national championship game with Nick Saban announcing his retirement. What in the
uh,
world? I mean, we see national news. At least here in Oklahoma City, it's national, obviously,
yeah.
but statewide within the state boundaries. What's the feel like? I know Coach DeBoer is there, and seems to me like fans are hyped up. I don't know if they're hyped to be hyped or they're trying to. I don't know, but not gonna touch
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one.
yeah.
But what's the feel like in the state of Alabama right now,
So
currently, after Saban
so
announced his retirement?
yeah. That's a good question. I mean, I think me personally, I think that following his retirement, they knew they had to get somebody that's worth the
Hmm.
name. Not only the name, but they can back up the wins. I think DeBoer was a good pickup. I watched him over the years. Him having that record that he did, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to argue against it. You get what I'm saying? Like, he did beat Texas. He did beat other few teams. It's just a very difficult conversation. But no, fans were hurt, man. I got guys I got grown men crying. Like, no, their friends are like upset. Dude, you understand? In my era, it was all Nick Saban.
Oh, absolutely.
So he was been around for at least 2 decades, at least. So I don't know the time frame. I had to look up the facts, but he's been around a while for at least 2 generations to go through high school and college to witness his greatness.
Oh, absolutely.
And win what 6 or 7 championships. So no, man, it took a toll on the state of Alabama, but I think that having DeBoer at the being a new head coach and him having a winning record and knowing that Nick Saban supports him and says that he's a good pickup, it helps the whole story. So yeah,
it's an interesting. I know I'm not going to sit there and speak for Alabama the within the athletic department because I don't know where Coach DeBoer was at, whether he was 1 or whether he's 5. I'm not going to get into that. It's not my business.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'm sure that they would love to see the hires of like a Sark or but a lot of people thought Dan Lanning, but
yeah. That's who I thought was going to get picked up.
That's exactly who I thought was, and then he came out with the hype video. I was like, well, that ruined that, and of course everybody else after that. But it's going to be interesting how he does in Alabama. It's a big. I felt bad for whoever it was. I don't care who it was. Those are some big shoes to fill, and I don't think they're going to fill him regardless of how successful he is.
Well, I think if fans and the people around Tuscaloosa and just watching Alabama football can understand that, hey, this is a completely different coach. Allow him to do his own thing. Lower the expectations to maybe like a medium range for DeBoer, and I think we'll be all right. But if you go in there and say, hey, we're going undefeated, I need us to win at least 8 games, that's putting expectations on people, and it's setting yourself up for disappointment. So,
straight facts, absolutely straight facts.
Yeah.
College football, since we last was on the show, has changed quite a bit. Yeah, some say for the good, some say for the bad, some are still indifferent. Of course, the SEC and the Pac-12 is now officially non-existent.
Yep.
They're done. The Big 12 loses Oklahoma and Texas to the SEC, which are going to be interesting for those two.
Yep.
The Big 10 gains Washington, Oregon, and both Cali, well, 2 of the Cali schools in USC and UCLA.
Yeah.
As a fan and somebody that's played the game for a long time, what are your thoughts on just where is college football heading in your opinion? Of course, the NIL is playing a huge role, especially when it comes to recruiting.
Yeah.
And the transfer portal, debating on that one right now still. I'm on the fence. I'm trying to like it, but it's starting to really be tough to like it because literally everybody's leaving after 1 year.
Yeah.
As a fan and someone that's played the game like I have, but you're more advanced down the road than I went. Where's college football going in your opinion? And is it heading in the right direction? Or are we kind of starting to lose what it once was?
That's a good question. I think me personally, I think it's done for. I think the NCAA had intention to allow the NIL deals to happen because of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
That's where, in my personal opinion, that's where it was derived from. Basketball players, they were trying to retain players to stay in college and not go overseas or not go to the NBA after 1 year and not do so many different things. And then they realized, football was a lot of money over there as well.
Oh, yes.
And I think it didn't go as planned. They didn't set up enough requirements and procedures going forward, and it just messed everything up. Now you're put in a position where you got grown men, right, in college making millions or hundreds, thousands of dollars, and you're telling them, hey, I need you to be at practice this time. Now it becomes a business deal, and it shows what players really don't love the sport
Yep.
and what players like, all right, this is a hustle. I'm gonna do what I need to do to get this check.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's good and bad. It's good because it's giving more diversity, is allowing more kids to travel. Because when I played, right, there was no such thing as a transfer portal. I mean,
Oh
if you
no.
transferred up, meaning if you went from a lower program to
Yep.
a higher program, you can start immediately, but if you transfer down, you have to wait 1 year. But it was a mess. I mean, it was so much paperwork, and that's only if the coach allowed you to transfer to the team. I mean, it was a lot. Um, so now I think now it's kind of like, the floodgates are opening and it's getting kids ready for the NFL, and it's kind of that's what the intention was, to retain kids longer. But now I think it's because I think when college is 3 years, you could play for 3 years and then leave.
Yeah, because originally it was 3 years and you're out, and a lot of times that's why transferring was so rare because you, like you mentioned, was if you transferred, you had to sit out a year. You lost a year of eligibility. Now it's, I think I got a notification from Bleacher Reports was like, I think the Miami U tight end now for his ninth season or
Yeah,
something like
9 feet.
that.
That's
I
crazy.
read exactly.
That's crazy. Like, you know what that is? That's NIL.
Is that's no, you're absolutely right
He's getting
because
a check. He's getting a check to wear something
yeah,
on the field or pre-game or after the game in a press conference. Dude, it's starting to become a monetary movement and
yep.
is messing up a lot of different players and teams. You seen what's the guy name? I can't remember his name. Left Alabama, just 2 days, 3 days ago.
Oh, they lost a lot of people.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. I got a brain for it, but um,
I know Downs left. They
yeah,
lost a lot of people.
yeah, yeah. So, um, yeah, that's my intake, man. It's college football is changing. I don't think NFL is changing entirely, but it needs to change.
No, I'm with you on that. I don't know. I'm kind of starting to get to the point. I made a comment years ago. I think when
uh,
podcasts first started
hmm
on the Time to BS podcast, I believe is what it was on. It might have been this one. I really don't remember.
hmm
But anyway, long story short, I made a comment that I thought that the way that college football was headed, and
uh,
this is talking about way before NIL and the transfer portal, was eventually going to be not as big as the NFL, but be a big sport.
yeah,
Well, I didn't plan this. I didn't think that this was going to be literally where we're at now. I do think that I really believe, Keith, what needs to happen, dude, is the NFL and the NCAA needs to come together and figure this whole thing out
yeah,
because obviously they're getting paid. So at this point, money's not an option
yeah,
like it
yeah,
used to be.
yeah.
Why not make college football a NFL development league
It's too much
at
money.
this point?
It's too much money. I don't think that NCAA will be willing to allow the NFL to have the hand in that pot.
I can
You
see
know,
that.
yeah, yeah. That's the only thing. If it was a way where you could say, hey, you can retain all your profits for college games and NFL, we won't touch it. It's completely split. It's for the better of the team, the better of the players. That'd be perfect, but they're not going to allow that. I mean, somebody's going to want something. You know how much money they make for instance, that Deion Sanders, when Deion Sanders first came to Colorado.
Yo,
You know how much money that made? Like,
I'm sure a
per
lot,
game? A
a
lot.
lot.
A lot. And that's why they didn't even have the money to pay Deion when he first got there.
Mm-mm.
But they
Nope.
relied on the ticket sales and the sold out seats to say, okay, we'll have it in 2 weeks. Don't worry about it.
And they sure enough did.
Exactly what it did. And even when they lost, guess what? We're still selling out tickets. So um it's college football is changing, man. And I try to get my kids. I coach football at the school
Hmm.
now. Try to get the kids to get back on, get that mind focus. Cause I'm tuned in with what's going on, so I try to keep them tuned in. And sometimes, with high school kids, man, it's almost like you're talking through one ear and not the other all the time, like, no,
Straight
nonstop.
facts.
Now you have a few that would listen to one or two things you might say, but most of the time, man, they kind of, oh, Coach Keith don't know what he's talking about, or it's crazy, man.
I'm gonna have to find the guy. I can see his face. He was on a podcast I want to say right before you were, and he wrote a book about for high school students, really based on the NCAA and how everything was ran. And because they get, high school kids, and you nailed it, high school kids get a lot of just feedback and this, and a lot of earful. I'll
Hmm.
find him and try and send you his info
Okay.
and hook up, because that book is amazing. Has a lot of great insight
Yeah.
on what kids really should be looking out for when it comes to coaches, recruiting, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
fits this era perfect now. But speaking of prime time, how you liking him in Colorado right now?
Uh, to be honest with you, I don't think he should be in Colorado. I
I
don't.
don't
I
either.
don't. I think I see his mindset. I think he's trying to change the culture in Colorado,
Hmm.
like he did at Jackson State.
Yep.
But I don't think that's the stopping point. I think Dion needs to. I wouldn't even say the NFL. I don't think NFL is the stopping point. But I think he's the kind of coach that needs to be in the SEC. Um, he needs to be with the top dog because at the end of the day, you can say whatever you want about, hey, a better coach will coach whatever he has. No, no, no. You're telling me you got a D1 program in Alabama or Arkansas or wherever you ever go, you got 6'5", 6'6", versus a smaller school with your best
Yep.
player might be 6'5", and the rest of them be like 6'2", 6'3". But in the SEC, all of them are 6'5".
Oh, they some big boys down in the SEC.
Yeah, yeah. So I think he needs to go over like maybe I was hoping he got the Alabama job, but I knew that was kind of a long shot. But I think he will go to the NFL only because his son seems like he's riding his son's coattail. Because he wants to be there and coach with him. So I think that if he goes to the NFL, he'll probably end up going to the NFL. Um, so that's what it looks like he's doing.
I'm 100%. I think I'm with you on that one. I think that's why and not to switch sports, but I think that's why LeBron's sticking around in the NBA. I think he's going to go sit wherever
Yeah,
Bronny ends up
and retire after
and
that.
retire. I think he wants at least that 1 year with his son.
Yeah,
Hey, I mad respect. I
that's never
mean,
happened before.
no,
I
exactly.
think it
I
happened in
mean,
baseball, I believe, and you could quote me on that. I'm not sure.
I want to say it was King Griffey.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was Griffey Jr. Yeah,
I
I
think
think it
so.
is.
Yeah, I think it's Griffey's.
Yeah, I think so. It happened before, but for it to happen in basketball, that's because everybody knows baseball players. You can play a long time.
Thank you
I
very
mean,
much.
you could play until you're probably 45. Basketball, you'd be lucky if you played past 35. Football, you'd be lucky if you played past 30, maybe 34,
If
33.
you're a running back, you lucky you passed 31.
Facts, facts, facts. But no, man, it's like I said, man. I've been I've been on a roller coaster since the last talk, man. Is it, and I hate to change subjects, but
No, you're good, man.
it just amazes me how so many guys can get, you know, and this is I'm not just speaking for myself, I'm speaking for a lot of guys I know. Some of the guys get opportunities that you're played against, that you have
Hmm.
film against. And you've beaten multiple times, and you've shown that you're better than whether they're on offense or defense, and they get opportunities, and it's not because of height, size, weight, speed, strength. It's all about who you know, man. It's all about who you're connected to, or if they went to the alma mater, if they, all it's so many different things.
Um,
Even with FTF, I was shocked. At least 15 guys from the FCF after we left had got a shot from the XFL, USFL, and so many different platforms. And dude, it was crazy for me to not even, sniff an opportunity. Like I was just shocked. I'm like,
wow.
yo, I was telling my agent over there, I was like, I got film on these guys. Like I've beaten these guys.
Hmm.
And, not to throw shade on nobody.
Right,
It's
exactly.
just my thing with recruitment from post college to pro, whether it's semi pro arena, doesn't matter what platform. I think the biggest problem that these recruiters struggle with is that they focus more on the big names,
Yep.
and those big names never produce because that's not what they really don't really want to play for. I've met a lot of guys that really just don't want to play football. Um, I'm gonna ask you a question. and
Mhm.
help me to make see if it makes sense.
Okay.
So if I'm an employer, right,
Mhm.
and I don't know nothing about you, and I say, hey, Mike, um, I'm gonna set you up for an interview. Can I see your
Okay.
resume?
Mhm.
You send it, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm not going to hire you based off of how fast you send your resume. I'm not going to hire you based off of how good your resume looks. I'm not going to hire you based off of nothing of that. I'm going to hire you based off your credentials, your experience. What does your peers say? That's what I'm hiring you based off of. I don't
Right.
care about how long you've been in the business, how long you haven't. So that's been my issue, and I'm speaking for not myself, but a lot of different players. Like,
Absolutely.
we need to start this trend where, hey, I really, if I'm a recruiter, this would be my approach. Hey, I really don't favor that guy as much, but he showed that he can play a little. Let's bring him in training camp and see what he can do. Now, if he gets in training camp and he balls out, hey, you found a gem in the hard place. But now if
Mhm.
he exposed himself and he's getting beaten and other guys better than him, what did you lose? You didn't lose anything. So that's how I look at it. I think guys need to get more opportunities from in any sport, instead of, hey, because there's two type of people in this world, in the sport world. You
Yep.
got guys that went to a great college
Mhm.
that plays. I know these guys. I'm telling you based off experience. The guys that went to a big college that play special teams, maybe one or two snaps in the fourth quarter against a bad team, and you got guys that play for like Dakota State or in the SWAC or whatever the case may be, that actually has film, and then they get overlooked because they went to a smaller school, or
Mhm.
they probably feel like the level of competition wasn't as greater than whatever. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
No, it is crazy, and it's a great point that you brought up because a lot of people do, especially you get to the D2s. You still got some D2 players that that do make the big leagues, but not not many. But and especially you go down to D3, and then the NAIA, and
Yeah,
then the lower JUCOs and stuff like that. They do get
yeah.
overlooked, and there's a lot of players that that have the talent. And shout out to my good friend and big dog D'Artagnan Tinsley. If he's watching this or
Hey,
listening in, you know
what's up,
he
Samson?
he play at KCU where I went, and
Yeah,
and it's not even NAIA school. I think it's NCCAA, which is below I
yeah,
think NAIA,
yeah, yeah.
and transferred out. Put his name in the portal, see what happened in Cincinnati, the University of Cincinnati. Hey, and now look at him.
Oh,
He's
okay. Yeah,
he's starting, but
that's what's up, man. That's what's up.
and it shows and it proves what you're trying to say as well, that even though if you're playing at these lower colleges, these kids can play.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
these kids can play.
Dude. Since we last talked, I've been to so many different workouts that I've seen. I've met so many. I've been in the. I got invited to the XFL showcase,
Hmm.
HBCU showcase. I've been to that, met Dion and all the good stuff. I've been to actually two XFL work. Well, maybe three, maybe
That's
three.
awesome.
And the other two was private workouts. I'm not gonna tell you what team, but the
Right.
team that didn't pick me, they was like 1-10. So I'm not saying I'm gonna be the difference of a team's record.
Right.
What I'm saying is you're looking at the wrong guys. You're looking at a guy that runs a 4.3 or 4.4,
Hmm.
but can't tackle worth a damn.
Yep.
Excuse my language.
No, you're good. You're
Um,
good.
and that was my biggest issue. Like, I'm not saying I'm the fastest guy on the field. I've never been the strongest. I probably run a 4.8, 4.7, honestly.
Right.
On a good day, a very good day. But I know how to tackle. I'm a coach, so I know how to look at film. I'm gonna look at film faithfully, so I know how to dissect the play and know what coverage what offense you're running, with
Hmm.
spread, power. I know when the guard's pulling, more likely the play's coming that way. I know how it looks, how many men are supposed to be in line of scrimmage versus, who's off or who's on. When a receiver goes in motion, what they're trying to do. I know these things because I put myself in position to study film, to know and think like a coach. So that's what's helped me over the years. Even when I was in the FCF, like 3 months before I knew I was coming, I used to watch last year highlights faithfully every
That's
day
awesome.
for like an hour each day. And that's if anybody's listening to you, that's what's going to separate you. You find your niche and capitalize on it. Whether it's film, whether it's the weight room, whether it's your
Mm-hmm.
speed, whatever your niche is, God's created is completely different, and you capitalize on it because everybody's different. So going back to what I said earlier, right now, man, I had so many near misses, it's ridiculous. When I say near misses, I had like opportunities with NFL, CFL, and I've kept quiet about it, only because you know how that goes.
Oh, I know exactly how that goes.
So man, I train. I'm not gonna say any NFL names, but
Hmm.
I train with some NFL players, and they've put word in for me.
That's
Their
okay.
attorney, their I won't say attorney, but their agents has recommended me. I mean, the film, the everything's
Hmm.
there. So when I say I'm gonna been on a roller coaster, it's been like, and like I said about a strong support system, you gotta have it, man. You gotta have it.
Well, if you don't have a support system, and it doesn't matter how that what that looks like for people. I know everybody's different when it comes to support system, but you got to have that, dude.
You gotta
Because
have it. You
if there
gotta
ain't
have
no
it.
support system,
You're done.
you done because your bad days are going to turn into a really bad
Bad
days.
days. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
And
no, man. So good news is I got opportunity coming up. I'll be able to figure out, and within the next week or so. So I'll let you know
that's
once
what's
I
up.
find out. But man, God is good, man. Just been doing the same thing I've been doing since you met me. Training. I train every day faithfully. I train my high school kids. I told them, I said, hey, you got to get ready for next season.
Hmm.
August gonna sneak up on us like that. So,
Oh yes.
I really get my motivation, some of my motivation,
Hmm.
and want to from them because once they start seeing that they're getting better, the faster, the stronger, it makes me smile, it makes me want to work with them, and sometimes they teach me stuff that I overlook. They might say, hey, remember last season this happened, this is the reason why I did this, and those kind of things. So um I recommend that any player out there that's watching this, if you haven't gotten to coaching, get into coaching. That's going to change your game completely. And the earlier you get in, the easier it gets. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't before I got into coaching, I didn't study film like I should.
Right.
I didn't see the importance of. I just kind of reacted based off what I've seen in the past. But
Same here.
yeah,
I get you. Same here.
yeah. But man, dude, it's the game's changing. It's a lot faster now. Coaches are getting a lot
Hmm.
smarter. Um, I've seen videos on Facebook. Them like, is that even legal? And then nothing happens. So the thing is, I remember Nick Saban talking in an interview one time. He said, "You never want to hesitate on a play. Allow the referees to make the call." That makes sense. And I thought about it. I was like, damn, that does make sense. Like what he's saying is, don't hesitate on what you think is right or wrong.
Hmm.
Just make the play and allow the referees to make the call. So I'm not saying jump off sides. I'm not talking about the obvious stuff. I'm
Right.
talking about like different schematics and different schemes on offense and defense. Because as much as you think you don't know.
No,
Like
exactly.
I'm still learning to this
Absolutely.
day, and I'm 32, so it's crazy. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, man.
Well, I will say this. I know the teams. I won't say it on here because I don't want to start adding them or adding at them, whatever the right definition of that is.
Uh huh.
But they are general managers of specific teams.
Uh huh.
That's followers of the podcast. So
Okay.
I'll send them your way.
Oh, man, I appreciate that, man. That's a blessing.
I'll send them your way because they are huge fans, and one I'm still trying to get on the podcast. So, but he's just a busy guy. But
Yeah.
both general managers of their respective teams. So
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
send them your way. I give them your info. Well, but I will give you their info, and you can definitely let your agent handle
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
Yeah. My boy Keith, man. Shout out to Keith. Been he's also named Keith, but his real name's Keith Nur, but we call him Keith. But
Nice.
and yeah, likewise, I'll send some players your way, just to add to your list, and maybe you can start scheduling them. Schedule some more guys throughout the year and start the 2024 year off strong.
Yes, sir. And one thing, continue is that, a little probably hour and a half north from me, from even though it's Oklahoma City, from Oklahoma City, Enid just got a indoor football team. I don't know, I don't know what league and all that fun stuff. But I
Yeah,
will say that if you ever end up in Oklahoma, I
yeah.
know a phenomenal dude that is a huge fan of the podcast, and him and we keep um, missing, but he is actually he owns, it's called QB Impact, and practically it's a phenomenal workout center, and it has Jimmy Wilkinson and other coaches that's played in the league and stuff like that. Phenomenal. So it's about to open. So if you ever
Okay.
end up in Oklahoma, dude, I got you the
Uh,
hookup. And
I've never been to Oklahoma.
did you, man?
I think I drove through Oklahoma. But I've never been to Oklahoma.
That's what's up.
Dude,
Well, I
it's
would say you're not missing much, but we're starting to grow. So I would say at least give us a check out. But
yeah.
no, phenomenal Coach George, Tom George.
Uh,
He knows a lot of people. He knows a lot of people.
gotcha.
But now, you know, set aside your support staff. I know that they play a humongous role when it comes to just life ups and downs, the good, the bad, the ugly.
Uh,
On days that where even though your support staff comes up, shows out, shows off, we're all humans. We still have that negativity side, or we try not to
yeah,
be, but it always kicks in. Even if we receive 272 text messages or whatever, I'm just pull up a random text message or a random number.
yeah.
But how do you handle just your really bad days? Just whatever people say is not going to change how you feel. What? How do you handle that, and what breaks you out of that mood?
Man, so I'm a big advocate of people finding their, like I said earlier, their niche,
Right.
what they're passionate about. I just had a conversation with my sister a while ago. She's, asked me that same question, and I said, when we were younger, you used to dance a lot. Like dancing was your thing,
Mm-hmm.
and she made up a lot of excuses on, I can't do it anymore, kids, da 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 da, and if we sit there in life and come up with the excuses on why we can't do something, we'll never do it. So for me, to go back to your question, for me, and me and my wife talk about this all the time, is mainly I love the gym.
Mm-hmm.
I love coaching. I love football. I love playing Call of Duty with my friends. So those small things. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes I attack one at a time to see which one makes me fulfilled in that moment. And I would play the game like, man, this ain't working. Okay, let me go to the gym. I go to the gym. That ain't getting it.
Right.
All right, let me just go. I got practice. I got practice at 3 o'clock. Let me go see if the coaching thing fits. Okay, I feel a lot better. So I think that that's the thing with people. You got to find what you're passionate about. Find out what you're excited about, and then if you do get in those moods, you always have more than one. You attack it. You like, all right, let me do this. Let me do that. Let me do that. Most people is a gym, because
Mm-hmm.
9 out of 10 times people get in this negativity role because they feel like they're not moving forward.
Right.
They feel stagnant. Now, with that sports related, financially, family, they feel like they're not progressing and they're digressing. So that's what causes, that mental negative space. So for me going to the gym, hey, now I feel like I want to say I feel like I got a six pack.
Right.
I
You're
feel
right.
like I hit my PR on the bench press, or with the game, oh, I got to meet my record today. I got to kill 15 more guys than I did yesterday, or get two more W's than I did yesterday.
Yep.
And with coaching, all right, cool. This kid right here is really not good. Can I get him to this level? So those challenges that I have are wins that I keep mentally, that how allows me to alienate where I am over here, and it just works for me. I don't know how it is for everybody else, but I
Right.
find that very, helpful for a lot of people. So yeah,
Well, that. I was at work probably as of work 2 weeks ago. Sounds like I don't ever work. About I was at work about 2.5 weeks ago. I was visiting a client. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
Gotcha.
And there it is. And it was outside their gym football locker room they just renovated.
Hmm.
And I like what it says. It says people do not decide their futures; they decide their habits, and their
Mm.
habits decide their futures.
Mm. That's
I,
dope.
dude, that was I took that, and I took a picture. I was like, nah, I gotta save that. But there's so much truth in it, not just in sports. Um, I'll get your question in a second. Not just in sports, but the fact that that's just a life lesson, and it brings up what how you was like, how can I lead them to be the next, maybe not so much the next Ray Lewis or the next
Yeah. Yeah.
whoever. It's just to be the best that you can be in what you're given, which leads to
Yeah.
this question that I have for you. That's because he was getting very impatient. Um, okay, stop texting. There we go. All right, going back. Your question is looking back at your life so far. How would you? How would? Okay, I got. Oh, here we go again.
You're fine.
Okay, looking back at your life so far, referring to your athletic career,
Uh-huh.
what drives you to be the greatest that you can be?
That's a good question. Um, I'm not gonna go too much detail, but
Right, right.
so what really drives me in my athletic career? So a lot of people don't know this. Whoever's watching,
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Bermuda. Bermuda, it's an island off in the Atlantic Ocean, maybe 300 miles east from North Carolina. Anyways, so my dad used to get me up at 4 o'clock every morning. I tell this story a lot because that's where it really derived from.
Right.
He used to get me up at 4 o'clock every morning to run the beach. And I thought he was crazy, maybe like 12, 13, 14 years old. Now, if you don't know what cricket is, but he was a famous cricketer on the island. So if you don't know what cricket is, the sport,
Mm-hmm.
please Google it tonight. A lot of Europeans, a lot of Indonesian people and different people around the world play cricket.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, he's a cricket player, so his athletic build and athleticism and make sure you stay in shape. It was every day, 4 o'clock beach run every day. Sit ups, maybe 1,000. I don't know who's counting now. So I was 12. No, I was younger than that. I was probably 7 or 8. I think it happened all the way till I was 12. So when we first moved to the United States, that was kind of that's where my work ethic came from. And then as I got older through high school, college, and even in the pros, I always felt like I was um, right there in the middle. And that's probably a mental thing that I put on myself, but it always worked for me. So it allowed me to push myself even harder to
Right.
be the best. Now I'm not saying I am the best, but to be one of the best, um, I can honestly say that's helped me. So having um a origin story, from my father where it came from, and then trying to develop that to where I am now and maintain it. So in everything I do, I always feel like I'm not. I got to be better. I got to be better. I got to be better. And that's just a mindset. Once you start in life, once you start doing small things, like a lot of people may think that it's little, and doing it the best you can, then your mindset's gonna change.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, I'm gonna challenge myself to get 8 hours of sleep a night. That might sound little to you, but a lot of people cannot do it.
No. Mm-mm.
or I'm gonna challenge myself to lose 10 pounds, or I'm gonna challenge myself to do 100 push-ups by the end of the month. So those little things, those little wins that I kept talking about earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and to answer your question about your athletic performance and keeping it up, is a mindset. It's a mindset. And once you change your mindset, you can do whatever you want to do. Now, a lot of people might be asking me, all right, if you had that mindset, why are you not where you want to be? Well,
Right.
hell, if that was the case, I'll be the damn president. I mean,
Exactly, for
God,
real.
God's still in the picture. Everybody has a
Yep.
everybody has a purpose. But I can honestly say that I put myself in the best position to get where I want to be. So Yeah,
I like that. I think that's no. There's so much truth to that, and oftentimes we allow we don't realize that we are our own biggest enemy.
yeah, yeah,
We don't we come up with excuses as to why we failed, but we don't realize that um we you know successful people or just people in general that want to be successful, they don't do things consistently because they want to.
yeah,
Successful people do it because that's how you become where you want to get.
yeah,
And like you said, does that some people will say, well, if that was the case, like you'd be in NFL, the president.
yeah,
Okay, well, we're not going to go far down the deep road, but
yeah,
that'd be cool. But
yeah.
hey, power to it. But speaking of success, talking some NFL ball, Lamar Jackson back in the postseason.
Let's go. Let's
And
go.
I see your Raven shirt there. I know the
Yeah, yeah,
postseason
yeah,
hasn't been very nice to Lamar, but MVP type season, I think he's going to win it. But we'll see
yeah,
here
yeah, yeah.
within the next few weeks. Um, Baltimore's chances to get to the Super Bowl, and looking at the remaining teams, who's been your surprise team, and who's been your surprise team, and who's been your most shocker team that didn't get there, even though Dallas, I would sure got to be on that
I was
list.
so happy they
But
lost.
I was too.
So shocker team. That's a good question. Shocker team. It's got to be even. So for the AFC, my shocker team is the Bills. Not the reason why I say the Bills. I know Josh Allen has been in that
Right.
playoff atmosphere before. It's just the Bills in the beginning of the season, watching all these takes on First Take and all these different ESPN channels. They were not looking good.
No. Mm-mm.
Josh Allen was an interception machine. And then for the NFC is the Lions. Um, I know Dan Campbell has got them boys jacked up with that 1,000 milligram of caffeine every morning.
Oh my God. Oops.
But they shocked me because they haven't been there a while. They haven't been since Barry Sanders. Um, so those are my two shocking teams. Um, but I think it's when it's all said and done, to be honest with you, I think it's going to be between us and the 49ers for a rematch.
Yep.
I don't think anybody's messing with Brock Purdy and them boys unless somebody gets hurt, Lord forbid. And I think that our defense and the way we're been, balling lately, I think CJ Stroud's, he's an amazing player, but I don't think that they're gonna get over the hump this weekend. No. And guess what? He's not gonna lose any credibility.
No,
His
exactly.
first year, you got your team, you won one playoff game, and then
Hmm.
you got put out the second round. That's not bad. It's not bad.
No, and
That was
depends.
Lamar. That was Lamar last year.
No, absolutely, and depends on who you talk to. A lot of people didn't really have Houston beating Cleveland in the first round, so
I didn't. I know. I
I'm not
know
gonna
that.
lie. I had Cleveland winning, so I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
sit there and say much.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. So, um, it's a good. I went with my dad to the Baltimore Ravens game when they played Cleveland and they played the Bengals.
hmm
Dude, it was amazing. It was amazing.
oh, I
It was
bet.
fun. It was fun. So I got to meet a lot of good guys. And the biggest thing being an athlete, when you go to these games, the first thing in your mind, you're like, he's not that big.
Exactly.
it's like the TV messes up everything.
Yep.
And I even stood next to a couple of guys. I'm like, damn, you kind of start comparing. You can't sit
Hmm.
here and say other football players don't do the same thing, but you'll stand next to a guy like, man, we're the same size.
Yep.
On paper, he says he's 6'1", 245, that kind of thing. So, um, it was a great experience with my dad. We got to spend a lot of good time together, and just to see those guys play, man, it was even better. I think we lost. We lost against the Browns, and then we won against the Bengals. That was the game where um, Hamilton got the pick six the first play.
I know which one you're talking about now. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. We lost. That was against the Browns. This one they had Deshaun Watson. He got hurt that game.
Hmm.
Mark Andrews got hurt that game.
Yep.
And then the second game is where we played the Bengals with an all black game. So no, man, it was fun. So shout out to my Ravens. I think we always been a great franchise.
Oh yeah.
I think the AFC North is all the team in the AFC North is pretty good. So, um, just hope I get there 1 year. Just give me a 2 year contract. I'll be fine.
Dude, I could see you physically being putting the helmet on, coming out. I could
Yeah,
see that.
yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
dope.
Man, look, if I get it, just keeping the faith.
Hey, you
You be
keep
my
believe.
guy. If I do, you be my guy. You be one. You was the first. Probably, I think you're the first interview I had on the podcast.
Yeah, because I think you were.
Post FTF, yeah.
Yeah, because I think you were one of really the one first of FCF. Really, because
Yeah,
I was reaching out, but not many
was reaching back.
was reaching back. I mean, that's fine, no big deal. But
Yeah,
I was like, oh, that's cool. This dude's cool.
yeah.
But
I'm an
you know,
open book, man.
dude, I got to pick your brain on this one. Russell Wilson in Denver. What in the world?
Oh
What what
man.
what I as I said last night on with Danielle or and in weeks past, I'm sure we're gonna release him or cut him.
Yeah,
Same
it's it's
thing.
it's it's just it's just chemistry.
Yeah.
Nothing more, nothing less. I think he don't get along with the head coach, Sean Payton. I just don't think that chemistry is there. I think it's been going on the whole season. NFL only allows you to see
Mm-hmm.
what they want you to see. So I think the chemistry was bad from the beginning. I think that those type of coaches need quarterbacks on the same level of talent. So when I say the same level of talent, Drew Brees, I think that I'm not saying Russell Wilson's a bad quarterback,
Right.
but what I'm saying is, you know how you get level-headed, you get too arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sean Payton felt like there's been, this is an assumption. He probably felt like this play should have went this way, or we should call this play.
Yep.
And Wilson being the way he is with Pete Carroll, Pete Carroll allowed him to call some play. And Pete Carroll does it to this day, even with
Mm-hmm.
Bridgewater. He allows him to say, "Hey, I've seen it. Call the play you feel like is best." And I think that Russell Wilson and Sean Payton bump heads right there. That's where they bumped heads at. So, um, talked about the Broncos. That was kind of my first workout straight out of college. That was crazy.
That's what's you know what's funny? I think I want to say on the first time you came on,
I think I told you that.
I think you did that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's been a long time, man. It's crazy how time flies.
Do that no for real though. Did
It flies by fast.
did the altitude mess with you a little bit working out with
No,
them?
honestly, I think it did. If I could last remember,
Did
I got a crazy story to tell. So when I first moved to the States, so I don't know if it was the humidity or what, but back home in Bermuda, the ocean provides kind of moist air.
right.
I'm asthmatic. I've been my whole life. I've had problems recently, but when I first got to the United States, the air was so dry. Like as soon as I stepped foot out the airport, it was completely different. I had to go straight to the hospital. Straight to we
Wow.
didn't even go to the apartment. I mean, I literally I think I had it was an asthma attack or panic attack. I was 7 years old. I was crazy. So I
What
mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. So that just explains a lot of people say, "Oh, the weather doesn't matter. If you're an athlete, you can play." No,
no, it
no.
does.
If you don't live there, trust me. And that's why a lot of these sports analysts don't know what they're talking about because they've never done it.
Well, no, exactly. And that's why, I was listening to an interview with John Gruden. He said, because they asked him about Denver, he said it didn't matter if he was with the head coach with Oakland at the time or obviously Las Vegas before he got fired
Uh,
or with Tampa Bay. He said, I had to physically have my team travel a day or two early to Denver just
yeah,
so they can acclimate themselves with the altitude
yeah,
because it's actually
yeah,
it's a real issue. But,
yeah.
you know,
It's a lot of that craziness going on right now, man. Um, it's crazy. I already knew Miami was going to lose the moment they
yeah,
stepped foot in the stadium. I was like, yeah, Miami's done. I don't care
I
what they have. They're not used to that weather.
I felt
So
bad for him.
yeah, I don't. I'm glad they
I,
dude. Tyreek was a problem, and I like Tua. Tua reminds me of Russell Wilson. They're very
hmm.
decisive. They're very decisive. Same kind of build. You know, they do quick throws and so forth. So yeah.
Who's the biggest threat? I know Kansas City's in the mix. I'm not just sold on Kansas City at all.
I
They're
am.
they've I don't know. I know it's a postseason now, so you never know.
Uh,
Is Buffalo any kind of threat to? I mean, they got to get by Kansas City first, but if they can get by Kansas City this week, could Buffalo be a legit threat to Baltimore, assuming that Baltimore makes it to the AFC Championship game next week? Could they be a threat to, or not so
yeah,
much?
yeah, yeah. Um, See, the thing about Buffalo is Josh Allen can run the ball. So
Oh yeah,
anytime, a lot of people don't understand this, but I I've been watching the Ravens and Alabama football for a long time, and I always say there's a comparison between the two. You know, Austin Newsom was the owner. He used to be at Alabama. He used to recruit all those Alabama players to the Ravens because they ran the same defense. You know, um, I think that we will have more trouble with the Bills than Kansas City because Josh Allen can run the ball.
mm-hmm.
I don't think it's nothing else. I just think that Josh Allen's good at. He'll throw you five interceptions. He's almost like 2.0 Jameis Winston. Um, but I would never count out that quarterback over there for Kansas City, dude.
Mr.
Pat
Patty
Mahomes,
Mahomes.
dude, can't. Uh, you can't. They've been dropping balls all year. Ironically, when they play their first
Yep.
round, they're catching everything. No, no. And then that Taylor Swift
Oh my
effect,
God.
dude. But no, I was glad the Steelers got put out. I
I
was like,
was too.
I
Yeah.
said, dude, if we play the freaking Steelers, it's a done deal. So, yeah,
Are,
man.
are you on the Taylor Swift bandwagon for the NFL?
No, I don't even know what Taylor Swift sings. I don't know one Taylor
I
Swift
couldn't
song.
even tell you. I have no idea. I'm not a fan of hers. Never have been. I think it's really annoying. The fact that they go to her more than they do the game, but
Yeah, man,
it
you know
is.
it's ratings.
Oh, of course it is.
Everybody don't
Absolutely.
watch football, but they watch Taylor Swift. So anything to sell a ticket.
Well, anything for ratings, they'll say. Literally, they'll say anything they want to get anything
Yeah,
out of people. But real quick as we wind down, coaches Bill Belichick's obviously out in New England, even though fired out. Who cares? He's out. I'm a little surprised Mike McCarthy's staying with Dallas.
shocked.
I really thought he was done the following Monday, but he's or I guess yeah Monday. Um, obviously he's safe, but Pete Carroll's out, and the list
Yeah,
there's a few more.
dude,
Um,
it's wide open right now.
you surprised Mike Tomlin hasn't bit the dust yet?
No, I think that okay, and I'm gonna be real frank with you.
Hmm.
Everybody in sports and in life, when they feel like they get to a certain age, they tell themselves, "I just want one more."
Hmm.
I even tell myself that now. I was like, "All right, I'm 32. I just need one more opportunity."
Right.
So because you know that if you get that last opportunity, you can give it all you have, and then that's when you know that hey, I gave it all I have. You could be more at peace with it.
Hmm.
So I'm not surprised at all that I think he wants to win one more Super Bowl. So I think next year, if he doesn't retire this year, I think next year will be his last year. Me personally, I think he'll retire because you can see the trend. Nick Saban, Bill Belichick, those guys are retiring. Not Bill Belichick, I'm sorry. Um, Nick Saban and who else retired? Somebody else retired. Am I missing somebody?
Um,
Oh, he
I
just
think
quit. He just quit. I'm sorry, but you can see the trend of coaches moving around a little bit. But I
uh,
don't think that Mike Tomlin will be. He's not the type of see the AFC North. They don't really, especially the Ravens and the Steelers. I don't see them going anywhere. They're going to retire before they get another coach over there. I think Bill Belichick is going to the Atlanta Falcons or the Chargers. I think that's the best fit for him.
yeah.
Mike McCarthy staying in the Dallas Cowboys, which is unfortunate. I think he's a great coach, but he just can't get it done in the end. So, um, and that's Jerry Jones. He wants to be an owner. He wants to be a coach and an owner at the same time. So, um, no, man, it's. I think 2020, the next football season is gonna be crazy, and hopefully I'll be in it.
I could see it.
Yeah,
I believe with you that it could happen, and it will happen.
yeah.
2024, obviously, we just 18 days now in. We talking prime time early in the show.
Hmm.
Could we potentially see prime time and Big D in 2025 with Shadur Sanders being quarterback for the Cowboys?
It's a strong possibility. It's not. Look. I get it. It's not the money.
Right, exactly.
It's not. It's not the fame. I mean, if you when you start looking at those possibilities,
Hmm.
you're saying to yourself like, well, it's possible because he's not after the money. He's not
Oh
after the fame.
no.
He already has those things. So what is he after? And I thought to myself, I said, it's got to be legacy. So
Mm.
he's after that legacy, right? So I think it's a strong possibility that wherever Shadur goes, he's going. Shiloh's his one man. That's kind of
Right.
his thing, but he knows that Shadur is different.
He
You
can
know,
ball. He can flat
I mean,
out ball.
what's crazy? They both can,
No, they can
but for
absolutely.
whatever reason, Shadur gets more. I mean, I know he's a quarterback, but I wonder if Shiloh feels like, damn, I want some.
Hmm.
I want some credit. I want some.
He's kind of like I kind of get the feel he's trying to get out of Shadur's limelight.
He is, but it's weird. I don't think that Shiloh is going to be, and this might be strange, but I don't think Shiloh is going to be that, um, like Hall of Famer player.
No, I
He
don't
don't come
get.
off to me as in like, hey, I
Mm-mm.
want to play this for the next 20 years. He comes off to me like, hey, I'm really good at this, and I'm
Hmm.
doing it because my dad's the coach. But Shadur comes off to me like, hey, this is what I want to do.
Oh, by far.
This is what I want to do. I want to become the best. I want to be the best. So, it's a possibility, man. I hope he doesn't, but I don't like Dallas Cowboys. My
I
father-in-law
don't
is a
either.
Dallas Cowboy fan. He's a big fan of Cowboys, and I always give him hell every day. So,
I don't either. Jerry Jones will, as long as he's the head coach and general manager, water boy, ball
yeah,
boy, everything he wants to be, they're going to continue to be where they're at because that's just how Dallas rolls.
yeah.
And real quick, and then we'll go to the five question hot seat presented by Dubby. Um, Travis Hunter,
Uh huh.
do you see him making it in the pros?
Of course, of
What
course.
now? What position do you think he'll be receiving still,
No,
or do you
he
think he'll
be
be on
he be DB. He be DB. He be DB. Um, the reason why I say DB is because he wants to be in primetime shadows. He wants to be that.
I could see that.
He's like his protege. Now where will he be at? I think it's gonna be safety. I think he's a better. And the reason why I say he's a better safety is because um his closure speed is crazy.
Hmm.
Like to me, for to be a safety, your closure speed has to be immaculate. To be a corner, your ball skills and your twitchiness needs to be immaculate.
Right.
You need to be able to go from 0 to 10, back to 5, back to 20 in a matter of a snap of my fingers at corner. Safety, you have to go from 0 to 20 to 30 and then maybe back to 25. If that makes sense.
Hmm.
So you have to sprint a longer duration at safety and cover ground, and then at corner you just have to have ball skills and be twitchy. So I think
Yeah.
he'd be a good safety.
Yeah. I was kind of curious what your thoughts were because I know. I mean, he's another kid that can flat out play ball, and I know he plays both sides of this field, and it's kind of getting your opinion on
Yeah,
where he may end up at.
yeah, we'll take him at the Ravens. Yeah,
Hey, I wouldn't mind Shadur and Mile High,
yeah,
but we don't need prime time, so I don't think that would work out.
yeah.
But
That's
maybe
another
we
thing.
will after next year. You never know.
He's probably gonna go where Trevor Hunter and Shadur goes.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Excuse me. As we wind down the show, let's head to the five question. Energy drinks and all of your. Okay, now you're just annoying me. all of your energy drinks and energy supplements that will last throughout the day and during your workouts. Question number one. We're gonna make it courtesy of the Herbert Raj podcast. They do a question. It's called. Well, they do three questions, but one of it's called work, play, and live. So work, you gotta the person I'm gonna give you, or you have to think of is obviously your coworker. Play is somebody you hanging out with, going whatever, hanging out in public, doing whatever. And then live is going to be your neighbor. It could be in the apartment, it could be house, it could be whatever. Um, however setting you will like. So obviously, courtesy of the fact that you are a Baltimore Ravens fan, we're gonna go Baltimore Ravens um addition on this thing. So I'm gonna give
Oh
you
Lord.
three players, play, work, and live, and I'll let you figure out them. Number one, let's go Ray Lewis. Of course, you can't. Everybody thinks of Baltimore. You think of Ray Lewis. Let's go Ed Reed, and then of course, Joe Flacco. Let's go with Mister Good Old Joe, even though you probably could have gone Terrell Suggs and so on and so forth. But so you got Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, and Joe Flacco.
Work,
Work,
play,
play, and
live.
live.
So play is your friend, live is like somebody you live with.
We can make it your neighbor.
Okay, that's easy.
Yep.
Ray Lewis work, of course. And
Oh,
the
dude,
reason why I say,
absolutely.
yeah, he got. I mean, he got the best work ethic. You can't beat
Yep.
that. Ed Reed, live. Um, oh no, I take that back. Ed Reed will be play.
Oh, yes.
Because Ed Reed's fun. He's always energetic. And he smokes cigars. I'm not a big cigar fan, but I mean, I think that would be pretty cool. He's laid back,
Mm-hmm.
And then Joe Flacco live. He seems like the type of guy that you want him around, watching your house, to water the garden, to walk your dog when you're out of town. I mean, he just seems like a stand up. And I'm not saying that because I mean I've seen the interviews, I've seen him talk, I've seen him, he just seems
Mm-hmm.
like a dope guy. So he'll be my gardener slash dog walker or something like that.
He's gonna be oh my god, I can think of Full House. Danny I
I haven't
can't think
seen
of
Full House in so long.
oh my god, I can't think of the last name now.
No, you're fine. I know what you're talking
But
about.
anyway, I can see like a Danny. He's gonna be your hey, I'm going out of town. Oh, I got you, and then come back
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
forgot to mow your yard. You come back and your yard's mowed, dogs fed, everything else.
Side of the
Uh,
house is clean with pressure wash and yeah. Ray Lewis type like, hey, you need to do it yourself.
Ray Lewis is gonna be the one that at work he can flat out, hey, you fired. You didn't show up. You 4 minutes late. You fired. But
Yeah,
at the same
yeah,
time, still have fun.
yeah.
Question number two. I don't talk much of it because it's just a topic that unfortunately nobody wins at anymore. Feels like is 2024 means the election is this year, and politics, of course, you know that's always a topic that a lot of people unfortunately you lose a lot of friends on or you cause a lot of enemies, whatever.
Yeah.
If you were running for president this year,
Hmm.
what would your campaign slogan be, and who would be your vice president? Literally, Keith, it can be anybody. It's just completely simulation role. So pick
Ah,
whoever you want to pick, and you run with this thing.
man, my slogan would be changing the narrative.
Oh, I like that one.
And then my vice president probably be my best friend Rodriguez. Rodriguez 3.
I like
Um,
that.
nah, the reason why I picked him is because he's very intellectual. Um, and he's very, very laid back. And he's the type of guy, if you ask him a question, he'll find a solution. If you have a problem,
Hmm.
he'll find a solution quick. Um, I'm the same way, but to me, he's like advanced. He's on another level. So yeah.
Question three, and so far their respective favorite team has absolutely lost, and everybody's taking the money. So I'm going to ask you on this one.
Mhm.
You have an opportunity to watch the Baltimore Ravens physically in Las Vegas this year for Super Bowl, whatever number this is at this point.
Ooh.
50-yard line, or suites, it don't matter, whatever
Yeah.
it wants to be. Or you have the option of that, or taking 20 mil. However, if you take the money, you obviously physically have to leave the stadium and you got to watch the Super Bowl from a television that may or may not go out because fans at a bar or whatever may bust. Or we could have another power outage like we did back when they first met with San Fran and Baltimore.
I know a lot of people say that's easy. Take the money. I mean, that's my first mind was going
Mm-hmm.
to, but money can't buy everything. Money can't buy experiences. I'm a big experience person, so I'll
The
take the
same
game.
here.
I'll take the
Y-
game.
Congrats. You are the first one that absolutely kept their loyalty to their team.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the other no disrespect to the other ones that did not. But I'm really surprised. I'm with you. The fact that like if someone said, "Hey, Mike, here's tickets to Denver Super Bowl." Oh, I'm snap and here's 25. No, forget that
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
number one, I can't afford. I would never afford Super Bowl tickets. Period. Number one. Number two, we may not ever make it back. And number three, even if I had the 25 million, I still can't buy a Super Bowl tickets because I don't want to watch nobody else's team play unless it's
Exactly.
mine. So I mean,
Exactly. And that was my mindset. Like, man,
yeah,
we might not make it back for
exactly.
another 10 years. So you have 20 million, you be rich, but I'm a dire fan, man. I love the game. I love
Yep.
the sport. I'm about experiences. You can't buy everything with money, so I'll take the experience because hell, you might meet a millionaire that's there that might give you two, three, four, $5 million just for the hell of it. So um, yeah, yeah. So I'll be the first and the
You
last.
were the first. Yeah, you probably will be.
Man, dude, I'm gonna tell you this, Mike. Like ever since I got older, man, like I think I started thinking about everything. Like
You have to, yeah.
when I was younger, oh, give me that 20 million. But now I was like, I try to be intellectual about. You might ask me, hey, what color is the sky? I'm like, yeah, it's blue, but sometimes it's gray, and it's
Hmm.
great because that's the kind of mindset I've gotten
Yeah.
now. Like I can't give you a straight answer. I have to give you details, and me being an engineer doing my day job, that makes it a lot, easier to talk about
Well,
different.
no, absolutely, because I mean, I can sit here and tell you, like you said, well, Mike's, what are your thoughts on X, Y, and Z? Well, here's what I can, here's what I can give you, but here's what I can give you, but I got to give you the exact, but what ifs, the what ifs.
My mom's
Okay,
crazy.
2020. I, I love that answer though.
Yeah, she always got it. She's definitely my support system, man.
No, that's what's up.
Um, we've been through a lot. So her and my wife is dope.
Mad respect to them. Shout out to
Yeah,
those. Shout out to the wife and the mom.
wife
Absolutely.
wife probably sleep right now. She probably in room sleep. I ain't heard from her. She went in the other room so I can get some privacy. But nah, man, it's all good. It's all love.
No, that's what's up. Last two and ended on this one. If there is one if there is one coach, it can be college, it can be pros, it don't matter what level. If there is one coach that you would wish you could either they currently are still coaching or previously have coached or unfortunately passed on, but you wish you could have played for him, is what coach would be that one coach you would wish you would have played for or would play for if they're currently still coaching?
Andy Reid, hands down.
Ooh.
Andy Reid. I think Andy Reid is probably by far the best, one of the best. He's in my top three. Um, I just think that his mindset is always steadily changing. I sit there and watch him. I watch a lot of Hard Knocks. I watch football. I
Hmm.
watch a lot of videos. And Andy Reid's smart, dude. He's
Yes,
smart.
he is.
Um, and between him and Bill Belichick, the reason why I said Bill Belichick is because Bill Belichick gives guys opportunities.
Yep.
Going back to what I said earlier, that's why anybody can sit there and argue that Tom Brady was the reason why they won so many championships. Of course he had a major part, but
Well, yeah.
who knew about that kid from West Alabama? And I
Hmm.
almost went there. You know, that caught the game winning interception against the Seahawks.
Yep.
So just those two guys to me are like, and I would say Nick Saban, but Nick Saban was kind of what's that word I'm looking for? He was very, very. He's who I am now.
Hmm.
His patience for his tolerance for patience is really short. Like
Oh, he has none.
he
Yeah.
has none. He has none. So if he felt like he was, playing with him, or you feel like you're not good enough, or you feel like, he wants the best, and
Mm-hmm.
which I respect. So
Oh, absolutely. I
yeah,
mean, that's why he's the GOAT or one of the GOATs in college football.
yeah, yeah. He's definitely the goat.
I mean,
He's my goat.
oh, by far, yes. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah,
Last but not least, as we wrap up this show, we obviously I know we're 18, yeah, 18 days in the 2024 year. What are your, I know, goals, resolutions, what some calls it, but
right.
what are you looking forward to, and what are you kind of foreseeing or hoping for this year as we take on this new year?
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm going pro.
Very
I'm
nice.
going pro. I already, I saw the vision multiple times in my
Hmm.
head, dreams and everything. I'm going pro. I just got to get my mind mentally ready for it.
Right.
Any opportunity that presents itself. Um, and I just need to make sure that not only my family's ready, but you know everything that me and my wife spoken about, um, comes to fruition. And another thing, my walk with God, and I can sit there and blame COVID, which is what I'm going to do right now. But COVID messed me up, man. It got me out
Yeah.
I'm a rhythm person. I'm a pattern person.
Yeah.
COVID got me out. I don't know. I shouldn't be blaming on COVID. It's been years. Um, but I've been struggling to find a church home, man. So, me and my wife talk about it every week, and
Hmm.
I think that God knows it. I think He knows my heart, but I want to find a church home that feel like it's right for us.
Absolutely.
And we have a church home that we have that we both grew up in, actually,
Hmm.
ironically, but we just feel like it's at this moment in life is not it. So praying for God for a new church home, you know, and me going pro, and her daycare blowing up. Um, I mount TVs on the side, so hopefully my entrepreneurship blows up, and your podcast blows up. So
Hey,
that's
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 what
what I'm
I'm
hoping
hoping
for, man.
for.
All vibes, all good vibes in 24.
Yes, sir. That's definitely 24 for me. Besides a few other things, podcast being one of them. That hopefully this is the year it blows up, or at least it takes off. Literally, I
Yeah,
know there's a
yeah.
plan in the logo, but you know, we'll see.
I
But
think you will, man. I think you
so
will.
far, so good.
Look at. I'll give you an example. Look at Shannon Sharp when he brought
Hmm.
Cat Williams on the show. You know, um, and we'll talk more about it on offline. But um, God got some plans for you, man. You just gotta. Sometimes you just gotta keep working, keep pushing, keep working, keep putting out good content, and that door's gonna open. It's gonna open.
Yes,
So,
sir.
um, if I was you, man, I'd just keep at it. Don't give up. You know.
Well, I know that the list that I got, which is somewhere around here,
Yeah.
um, that's going to be on or potential be on is it's pretty good. It's a lot better than well last year. I don't think I put out much, but um, a lot better than has been. But no, it's going to be a good year for
Yeah.
both of us. I think it's going to be a
Yeah.
big time year, and we'll run with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Looking forward to it, man. And I'm always here. So once I make it, I'm definitely gonna give you a shout out.
Yes, sir. And by chance, if Denver calls you, let me know because I got to beat you to the DIA. I got to beat you to the DIA first to greet you at the Denver National Airport, and then you can go do your thing in Inglewood at the training.
Man, look, man. I'm gonna say my last piece and I'm done. But I've had so many players, NFL, coaches, tell me personally, like, hey, you should be there. You have the talent, you have the film, the skill set. Just,
Yep.
you know, I ain't the only one. So that's always a kind of a good feeling. But um, that separates a lot of people.
Hmm.
They have faith. So you got to think about how many people is doing podcasts,
Oh yes.
but that faith's gonna separate you from the rest of them. So
Yep.
just keep at it, man. I appreciate you calling in and helping. Helping to, like we always do, man. We got the good chemistry going, and I praying for the family still, and it's always a pleasure, man.
Hey, you got my support, my man, and wherever the good Lord leads you guys this year, hey, I got
Yeah.
you supporting, and I'll
Okay.
be there right on the sideline rooting rooting for you and for your dreams
Yes, sir.
as always. Guys, that's another wrap on this one. It's been a fun show, real fun show as always. Keith, let them know where they can find you on socials as we end this show.
All right, sounds good, man. My Facebook name's the same as my regular name. Twitter, Instagram, IAMKGW_II. Y'all give me a follow. I'll follow back. Yes, sir.
Real talk right there. You've been listening to the Air Attack Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Air Raid Podcast. Subscribe on YouTube, Air Raid Podcast or Air Raid Attack Podcast. And follow me on Twitter if you or X, whatever you would call it, Air Raid Mike. And that's another episode of this week. We'll be back here same time, same place next week as Miss J Bell from 93.3 The Q in Albuquerque, New York, New Mexico comes on. That's the second time now I've messed that up. New Mexico comes on, and we'll be talking all things radio. Until then, be safe. Be safe. Love each other, and we'll see you all soon. Take care and have a wonderful weekend.